We're good? Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for January the 7th, 2019 is now in session. And I hope everybody had a very good Christmas and good New Year, and we're going to have a good year. With that, let's begin. Let me do introductions, and we got to do the pledge, so I'm all messed up with the New Year. Let's stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, looking forward to the year 2019, and I'll make some introductions and we'll begin. To my right is Commissioner Barb Lewis, Vice President, and to my left is Commissioner Jeff Benton, Clerk today, Jennifer Walraven, and our Administrator, Mike Fromer. Let's begin.
Resolution number 19-01, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held December 27th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-01. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 2 is a matter of reorganization of the Board of County Commissioners. President?
I would nominate Barb Lewis to be president for 2019.
And I'll second that. Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 1902. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
I think we traditionally just maintain our own seats and then let you take the meeting from here.
Okay.
And, then we'll do the change of chairs at our next meeting. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for your confidence in me.
Resolution number 19-03, in the matter of reorganization of the Board of Commissioners Vice President.
I move that Jeff Benton.
Second. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-03. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
I almost asked the question about discussion. You got to get out of the routine of doing
I
this.
know,
So,
I know.
Just
I
slap
know.
my hand
I've
if
done
I,
that. Okay, yeah. All right.
Resolution number 19-04, a resolution to designate the official representative and alternate for the purpose of voting at the annual meeting of the County Commissioners Association of Ohio 2019.
So moved.
will second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-04. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-05, in the matter of appointment of the board's representatives to various boards and commissions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Vote on motion 19-05. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
And we do not have any public comment or elected official comment today, so that brings us to item number 8, resolution number 19-06, in the matter of approving purchase orders and account certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0104.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-06. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-07, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-07. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-08, in the matter of accepting the treasurer's report for the month of November 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-08. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 1909, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-09. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 1910, in the matter of approving a Job and Family Services 2019 required travel training request.
So moved. Second.
We got to get this down.
We're going to get in sync here.
Discussion.
Good morning, Bob Anderson with Job and Family Services. This is a request for our annual expenditures for various meetings, meetings that are set, trainings, conferences that we do throughout the year for our various divisions.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-10. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-11, in the matter of approving transfer of funds for Job and Family Services.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
We are asking for funds that were budgeted this year from the general fund to be transferred, half the money for the placement of children in foster care, and then the other monies for income maintenance in our public assistance fund.
Okay, questions? Vote.
Vote on motion 19-11. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 19-12, in the matter of approving an advance of funds for juvenile court.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Good morning, Karen Watkins, Fiscal Coordinator for the Juvenile and Probate Court. As you may have heard, our federal government is currently shut down, so I am unable to draw money for our VOCA projects. They've said that as soon as the federal government comes back up, they will be making those payments. My reporting will continue going on each month. So I'm requesting $20,000 for the Victims of Crime Act of a cash advance and $70,000 for our CASA project.
Any questions? No, should be interesting.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be soon.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
As soon as we receive notice and the payments start coming back in, we will go ahead and repay those funds. I'd like to carry forward the $25,000 closer towards the end of the year, though, for the CASA award.
Okay. Thanks, Karen. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-12. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 19-13, in the matter of appointing a Delaware County Workforce Partnership Committee.
Open.
I think it's your turn.
I said so good.
Okay, all right. Second.
Discussion?
Bob Lamb, Economic Development Director. Commissioners, thank you for receiving this request today. Before you is a request to establish a task force that would be countywide to address workforce development issues within the county. This task force is being proposed to be comprised of key partners, one of those being JFS Services, and we'd like to thank them for their support in this endeavor. Their team has really been a major driver of this effort and brings a lot of tools to the table. We've also been working very closely with the Career Center and other individuals. This task force would be led by Jenna Jackson from my office. She has spent the last year engaging multiple entities throughout the county, putting together this group, as well as engaging libraries, schools, and other partners that have key issues related to workforce development.
Yeah, I think this is a worthwhile idea. You know, the number one issue we hear from the businesses in our community is workforce. You know, getting the right people and, you know, the people locally. So I think it's great that we can work together with these groups and hopefully work on how we can make more workers that are the right workers available in Delaware County. So I think it's a good idea. I noticed we don't have anybody from the public schools on the list.
The Career Center
Center?
has established a position within its center that is really dedicated towards being the point of contact for the various schools related to workforce development issues.
Okay, so they will-
And so they'll be the hub to go out to the rest of the school districts within the community.
Okay.
They're kind of a liaison to all of them anyway, because
Yep.
That makes sense. Also, the Health District, I know that's a key initiative, or key focus of theirs is workforce.
Our thought is we're going to have one main group that's really the countywide task force that's being proposed within this body, but then many groups will be associated with this group and will be in active engagement throughout the year as we evaluate different issues related to this. Many organizations within the community have a group or an individual that's looking at workforce issues because it is so pressing, whether they're chambers or schools or a different type of entity. And so we really want to be engaging those throughout the process to make sure that this task force is really looking at it holistically.
Okay. Again, great idea. I think this will
Yes.
hopefully help with this issue. It's very important.
Yeah. Very happy to see it, too. Vote?
Vote on motion 19-13. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-14, in the matter of approving transfer of funds.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Morning, Commissioners. Karen First, Fiscal Manager. This resolution is for the transfer of cash to the funds the general fund supports and to cover the local grant matches.
Questions? Vote?
Vote on motion 19-14. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-15, in the matter of declaring public purpose and authorizing the use of Delaware County funds for the purchase of coffee, meals, refreshments, and other amenities.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
This is a blanket food resolution for the items budgeted under the Commissioner's authority.
Vote?
Vote on motion 19-15. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Brings us to item number 18, and Administrator reports.
Good morning, Commissioners. Wanted to let you know, last week on Thursday, I met with the Kiwanis Club of Delaware County. They had a really high, they had 25 people there, which they said was real high attendance for them. They meet at the Old Bag of Nails, so had a great dialogue, did a brief presentation, and answered a bunch of questions. Also, this afternoon, Brad and John Melvin and I are meeting with the architects to look at some of the preliminary concepts for the Career Center. They've gone through the programming, and we're going to kind of see some unveiled schematics today to see how they've been able to fit our needs into the box that's out there. So,
We had an opportunity to look at that.
oh yeah, yeah.
When will we see that, do you think? You see it?
Well, it'll depend how it looks today. We'll give them some feedback, and then it'll, probably have them, I would anticipate, they'll kind of clean up from our feedback, and then you guys will get a chance to see it, so.
Oh, great.
Yeah, the building out there has a lot of high bays and some different spaces than traditional office space, and so it'll be interesting to see how that fits. I think it'll fit really nicely, but, so.
That big open area, I guess it's always as you come into the building, I assume that would be broken down into office area rather than maintain that big open area. Is that the plan, or? 'Cause
Yeah.
Otherwise, we top a lot of space.
Yeah, I think it's, I think that'll be something that'll have to be looked at, because I think the initial analysis is our needs are very close to what the overall space is. So, there probably won't be the ability to chunk that out, so.
Commissioner Merrill, you never get to go first, so.
And you don't realize when you're 52 weeks, you're doing this, and all of a sudden you change. And you're waiting for the second, and you realize you're the second. There is a little bit of a transition. I want to believe that moving to this chair next Thursday will solve that problem.
There we go.
So, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
We are fortunate to have people who, unlike it's not like a governorships around the world where they have a coup. We make this
That's right.
transition
That's
fairly smoothly.
Yeah.
I have one thing, and I am going to steal your thunder, because I see you have the same
okay.
thing.
All right,
You have
yeah.
the disadvantage of going last now.
Right. I've got something else, too. I'm going to hide it. So-
But I had told Joyce through an email about a week and a half ago during the holidays that I was specifically going to mention this today, so I'm going to do it.
It's, all right.
Joyce Boyens sent me this email. I'm going to read it, and just then I'll have a comment. I would like to let you know Jeffrey Eldridge, Deputy Director of the State of Ohio, Office of Child Support, announced the 2018 awards for outstanding performance by county child support enforcement agencies. Delaware County CSEA was recognized for our contributions to the Ohio Child Support Program and our leadership throughout the state. Delaware County was recognized as the best performance collections on current support in the medium caseload division, best performance collections on cases with arrears in the medium caseload division, total disbursement per total FTE, cost effectiveness in the medium caseload division, and that always makes us feel good when we get good production, for good productivity. For every dollar spent, the agency collected $18.56 in support payments, and best overall performance in the medium caseload division. Those are four very nice awards, and we have been recognized in years past as well. I think it says a lot about that group, and giving individuals the opportunity to pay their fair share on child support is a role this group takes very seriously, and we should all take it very seriously. And my congratulations, and as I said, I did still, she has the same form here. Yeah, well, there's things to talk about, so, and that's all I have. I do have 911 board meeting tomorrow. Other than that, I have nothing else.
Okay. Commissioner Benton?
Yeah, just a few other things. Did my SEBCO board orientation on Friday. The board is, or the SEBCO is well-led. It's the county association's healthcare subsidiary. And Doug Faust does a really nice job, and they're looking at making some changes going forward, so it should be an interesting period to be on that board. I did go to Angela Thomas's retirement celebration Friday afternoon. I think it was, well, Friday afternoon, and very well attended. It was really nice to see. She spent 29 years, here. So congratulations to Angela, and best wishes in her retirement years. And she's seen some changes over the years in JFS, I'm sure, but it was nice to see so many people, thanking Angela for everything she's done over the years. We all know that Carol O'Brien has announced that she's going to be going to work for the current auditor, soon-to-be Attorney General of the state of Ohio, Dave Yost, and in a very, very senior position,
Yes.
I think it's probably considered his number 2 position.
Yes, yes.
So she'll be over a significant portion, I guess it's generally considered law enforcement, of the organization she'll be overseeing in the Attorney General's office. So I want to thank Carol publicly for all her excellent work on behalf of Delaware County, and then also wish her the best. And she's going to leave a big hole. But I'm sure there's plenty of good people around, and we'll pick someone, I'm sure in the near future, depending on exactly when she leaves, to replace Carol. We're trying to get the land bank going. It kind of hesitated, it kind of paused there for a bit. We're trying to get it activated again, or not activated again, but started and active. So we're trying to set up a meeting this month in January, hopefully, to get that, the final organization structure and so on put together, so we can move the old jail into that property and more expeditiously, more properly dispose of the old jail. And lastly, just after all the bowl games over the holidays, I want to, of the 3 teams that this board follows, the Buckeyes, Oklahoma, and Michigan, I want to congratulate the Buckeyes for winning.
Oh, no.
And that's all I got.
That's all you
Commissioner
have?
Lewis.
Oh, over to me.
Well, I'm trying to decide whether I want to be gracious and say nothing, or, I will say this. I'm surprised you didn't bring this up. The co-defensive coordinator here, you guys have to have 2 to do the job of 1, is coming to Oklahoma, and he'll be joining us. His name is Grinch. I love that name. There's a lot of things you can be able to do with that. But I think it's good for Oklahoma, and it's a step up for him. And one other thing I will mention, since you brought up football, is they had the high school All-American game Saturday. As you may know, they'll sometimes announce where people are going to go. And the next to last one was a receiver from Georgia who changed his commitment from Georgia to Oklahoma. And it gives Oklahoma 3 5-star receivers, so our offense should continue at its current pace. So looking forward to that.
There was just a little crack left open. Yeah. Now that you're not president, you can just, well, I was going to say,
Well,
you
I felt
can say
like
what
he
you
brought up
want,
football,
but-
I didn't.
Yeah. It seems that we have someone, speaking of football, from Oklahoma State now, joining the Buckeyes.
Oh, yeah.
So, supposed to be a really,
Quarterback's coach.
He'll be able to wear the same clothes he has now, OSU.
that's right, yeah.
Color won't be
Yeah,
right, but
gee, there's so much information, I'm overwhelmed. But, I would like to thank John Peterson, our treasurer. He reported to us at the end of the year that the real estate collection delinquency in Delaware County at the end of 2018 is 1.02%. It's the lowest that it has been in over 15 years. And his office is in charge of Delinquency Tax and Assessment Collection Fund. And like to thank you, Commissioner Merrill, too, for your service as president. Thank you. And look forward to a very fruitful year in 2019. All right, I think we have executive session.
We do. Resolution number 19-16, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of employment and compensation of a public employee or public official.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion, vote?
Vote on motion 19-16. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye. We are now in executive session.
Resolution number 19-17, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion, vote?
Vote on motion 19-17. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye. There is no other business to come before the board. We are adjourned.